Let me go ahead and quickly introduce our next speaker, Satyajeet, who is going to talk about product space, exploring product space as an agile coach. Satyajeet is currently working with a famous bank and he is working as a principal agile coach, right? He has put his footprints in and successfully integrated business and technology teams. Always try to inculcate a culture of automation, design, security, DevOps, and other areas. Played the role of a test manager for large programs such as Workday, HCM, and cloud migration. And he is responsible for the overall end-to-end testing, regression automation, security, operational acceptance testing, and UX. He's a PSPO certified, SAFE SPC certified, IC Agile, ATF, CAT, and ENT, and also completed his CSM1, right? I think there is a little bit more which Satyajeet can directly share from his side. With this, let me hand it over to Satyajeet. Satyajeet, if you can hear us, please.
Yes. Yes. Hey, hi, Sharan. Hi, Satish. Hi, guys. I hope you can listen and hear me properly, right? Yes.
Yes, Satyajeet. We are able to hear you.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, great. Just let me share my screen. And then let me know. Okay. I hope everybody is able to see his screen. Guys? Yes. Okay, can I get a quick yes, no?
Yes.
No, yes?
Yes, we are able to.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So thanks, Sharan, for that introduction. Okay. So of course, that was my past introduction. I was more, before agile coaching, I was more into testing and development. Okay. And from last 8 years, I've been into agile. And from last 3 years, okay. So this entire slide deck, okay, this entire slide deck is my journey from last 3 years, okay. Post-COVID, where actually I came acquainted with a lot of product coaches, product managers across the industry, across various companies, and I started speaking with them. So this entire my learning experience, I tried to replicate in roughly around 13, 14 slides. Okay, so tough to squeeze in, but I've tried my best. So it is general, right? I mean, see, so the one basic prerequisite for this workshop, guys, is you should have some idea about agile and agility. Okay, maybe a Scrum framework would definitely help us. Okay, in this case. So some of the slides are going to be a bit heavy, but I've tried my best to give examples and try to simplify the concept. But there is one spoiler for this session. The spoiler for this session, I'm not going to recommend any framework. I'm not going to recommend any book. Okay, except for one slide where I'm going to recommend one book. Okay. Apart from this, there is no framework recommendation. There is no standardized framework which you hear. Okay. So this is solely coming from my experience. So whatever is experience, you can say maybe from frustration, sweats, and celebrations of building product. Okay, from last 8 years, and especially a product side from last 3 years. Okay, with this, so we are going to deep dive into this. Okay, so now our next 35 odd minutes are going to look like. Okay. So we are actually going to understand what exactly is a product management, what exactly is the process of building products, okay, and then how actually one of the popular frameworks sees, okay, how Scrum sees product management as an area, okay. I wanted to deep dive into other frameworks, but then probably I just picked up which is one of the most default and popular framework, okay. And then why do we really require a product manager? So you can also say, okay, product owners. We'll try to answer this, okay, during the session. And then actually the fourth one is very critical. The harsh realities as a Scrum Master, as an Agile coach, or even as a product manager. Okay, what are the harsh realities for that? Okay, and then how do we explore the product space? Okay, so as I said, right, one of the key persona, one of the key audience for this is, okay, a Scrum Master or Agile coach. Okay, because see, there is always a tug of war. Where should we move? Should we move to the technical side, or should we move to the product side, or should we move to the technology side? Okay, so this is what I'm just trying to simplify that particular confusion. Okay, with this. Okay, so with this, let's try to first drill down. I'm going to spend maybe a quick 5 minutes on this slide. Okay, and feel free to ping me or feel free to ask questions on this. But then I'm going to holistically touch on this slides. Okay, I'm not going to double click, or I'm not going to go detail into the slides. Okay, again, simplified version. Okay, so building products, or you can say product management, right, is a two-step process. Okay, it's of a product discovery and a product delivery. Okay, so product discovery is actually uncovering what creates a value. That is, you are finding out, okay, these are some of the problems that can create a value. And delivery side is actually delivering those stuffs. Okay, so these are two fundamental aspects of building a product, right? Product discovery and a product delivery side. Okay, and then further, okay, let's simplify product discovery further. Okay, let's try to simplify product discovery into two parts. One is problem discovery and one is a solution discovery. Okay, you might have heard problem space and solution space. Okay, across, I mean, many times in town halls or in books or even during your organizations, right? So this is what product discovery is part of, divided into two parts. So let's try to see. I'm just trying to segregate this, okay, so that the conceptually it becomes very clear to you. Okay, so let's try to focus on, okay, what is a problem discovery? But why do we need a problem discovery? Is that okay? So this is a mental model. We are going to talk on a bit amount of depth. But why we need is that we need a user empathy. Okay, it's a deep user empathy. So there is a reason why this word called as deep user empathy. Okay, and we'll try to understand. So there is a problem with someone. There is a problem in market. Okay, and then we want to address that problem. Okay, so what are the first step you're going to do? You are going to identify the personas. You're going to identify the users. Okay, let me give an example. Okay, a classic example of Zomato. Let's take an Zomato or Swiggy, right? So what do you think, guys? What are the different personas in Zomatos and Swiggy? Can we suggest something actually? What are the different user types, or what are the different people who are using Zomatos? Segments, high-level user segments, if you can.
One is the customer who is placing the order. The other is the restaurant who is, yes, and third is the delivery associate.
Yes. Thank you, Satish. So yes, so high-level user segments can be a customer, can be in a restaurant, and can be a delivery partners. Okay. Again, actually, you can divide the users into multiple segments. It can be maybe from a demographic, it can be an age bracket, it can be a housewife, it can be anything, right? So this is how it is. Now, every user, right, be it a customer, be it a restaurant or a delivery partner, they have a certain jobs to be done. They have a job to be done. Okay, so this is what. So you need to identify. Okay, as a customer, let's pick up a user profile as actually a student. Let's take up a user who's trying to order food from Zomato. So what is the job to be done? So you see the point is right. See, every product, right? Every product has a job to be done. See, the customer buys a product or customer use a product. I'm using Zomato for fulfilling some of the job, and the job is actually ordering food. As simple as that, right? And another can be, okay, let's take an example of Zoom, right? What is actually Zoom doing? Okay, so the basic job, right, the functional job which Zoom is doing is that he's connecting the remote workers, or maybe remote employees, or maybe remote groups, without having a personal connect, right? You don't have to physically go. You're sitting in a different parts of maybe in India, right, or the world, right? You don't have to go physically to each other to attend this. So Zoom is making sure that you're connecting with the remote worker. As Zomato is doing that, it's helping you to order. So right. So this is a basic functional job of a product. And user, I'm hiring, I'm using Zomato because I want a functional job to be satisfied. Okay. So this is a basic steps. I'm not going to deep dive into what are jobs to be done. I'm just trying to high level touch on each and every aspect, right? Now to completing the job, okay, every user has a problem. Just look at any of our product which are currently using, right? Every product has a problem, okay? And I'll give you one classic example, right? Zomato, okay, few months back, or even start of this month back, right? There was a classic problem. Where user was unable to place order from multiple restaurants at the same time. Are you aware actually, did you try Zomato maybe before, I think 6 months back, placing an order from multiple restaurants at the same time? I want to order a dosa from one restaurant and I want to order some other dish from another restaurant. I can only add one restaurant to the cart. Are you getting it right? Now, this was a complaint which Zomato had received number of times, okay? And Zomato has specifically resolved this issue in, I think, 3 months or 4 months back. Now you can place a bulk order. You can add maybe, I'm not sure, maybe 4 or 5 restaurants as part of a cart. So this was a typical problem, right? This was a typical problem of Zomato. So that is what I'm trying to say. Identify the personas, identify the jobs to be done, and then you identify the problems. So this is what a classic example. Now you end there, right? Now the challenge is, right, as a user might have hundreds of problems. Do we need to fix really all the problems? The answer is no. So this is where you need to prioritize this problem. You can't prioritize this problem based on certain frameworks. Now, I started this session with saying that I'm not going to recommend any framework. Okay, I'm just going to give you some idea about that. Okay, so prioritize a framework based on, okay, these many numbers of maybe more number of users are there. So probably I'll target this. And there are a couple of parameters which we'll discuss later on, but you'll have to prioritize this framework. Now this prioritized framework go to the solution discovery. Yeah, this goes as an input to solution discovery. So what happens? What happens once this prioritized problem go to solution discovery? Here we require another mental model, and that mental model is called problem solving. Now notice there is a word called as creative problem solver. And there is also a reason why we have written a word called as creative. Okay. When you implement, when you identify a solution, right, generally, right, there are two, if I look at it, right, in my experience, there can be two kinds of solution. One can be a catch-up game, where Zomato has implemented a feature and then Swiggy copies it. Or somebody has implemented something, when some bank has implemented something and some other banks. So there is always a catch-up game. And there's another feature which are actually a market differentiator, a really market differentiator. Okay. So generally, right. So this is where that is what you need to see. You need to bring an out-of-box solution. You can't always do a catch-up game. Now this again thing, you have to identify multiple solutions and you have to prioritize the solution. Prioritize. So this is again a prioritization of a solution. So prioritization of a problem. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. There's some issue. Okay, my bad. Okay. So there is a prioritization of a problem and there's a prioritization of solution. So what happens after the solutions are prioritized is go to a roadmap. So roadmap is nothing but these are a set of features which we are going to implement. Let's suppose for next 3 months, I'm going to implement these 2 features. Okay, this is what it is. Now, once you create a roadmap, you align different teams. So you say, okay, this is the feature I want to target for the next 2 months. And let's suppose there is a legal team, there's a compliance team, there's a marketing team, there's an engineering team, and let's suppose there's a business team particular. And these are teams to align with this and along with the leaders, right? This is what it is. And this is a normal process of you create user stories or a PRD, product requirement document, and then you move ahead. Right? You start your development in sprints. Once you start development in sprint, you release a product to production, right? You release a product. This is a normal delivery life cycle, which generally we are seeing. Once you release a product, there is a go-to-market strategy. Now you have released a product. How do we ensure that a user uses a product? This is where actually maybe a lot of campaigning will take place and all that, right? Marketing strategies and all that. And once you do that, you measure the customer and the business impact. Okay, how many, as per expectation, how many, and based on that, right, you iterate and grow. So this is a generally, right, product development, building a product life cycle, right? Now I want to ask you a question, right? Where does a normal scope of an agile coach falls into this? What do you think? Where it will fall? Any guesses, guys? Where it will fall? Generally, Scrum Masters or even product managers. Okay, where will it fall? Okay. Okay, I'll just
development in sprints, ideally.
Yes, yes. So what we generally do, right? We start with identifying solutions. Okay, remember, this is a step even prior to prioritizing solutions. Okay. Nobody has prioritized. We get a backlog of laundry list of items. We create user stories. Okay. We move to development in sprint. We release to production. And then we go back to check out this where the arrow goes. We go back to selecting another feature. I mean, do you agree, guys? This is what the normal scope which generally is seen. And this is a standard, okay? Even because most of the time in most of the projects and most of the organization, even all of us are stuck into this hamster wheel, okay? And there's a reason for that, okay? So let's see actually. See. And of course, this is due to the culture of organization or everything, right? Most of the coaches, agile coaches and Scrum Master role is viewed as a process only role and is always aligned to the delivery arms. Okay. See, historically and culturally, we've been never asked to look at the left side of a wall. We are always given a product backlog and asked us to deliver, and which is actually this is out. And we are always asked only 2 questions. Okay. How much story points and by when? Okay, that these are the 2 standards. But nobody has actually asked, okay, should we even build it? So this is a standard, right? And again, but a question to you is that, okay, what do you think actually? Is delivery only shipping the feature is only a delivery to us? without measuring the impact? The answer is no, it's not. It's not. And notice I'm saying the word called as measuring the impact. I'm not saying successfully the impact should be successful. I'm just saying you deliver a feature and you measure it. Failure and pass is not an option. It might achieve or it might not achieve. That does a difference. I'm just asking measuring. And with this, I'm just going to leave with you with one message is that, okay, go back and check, okay, whatever feature you've delivered, how much is a percentage uses or has the customer really used it? And you would surprised to see those stats. Okay, you can't speak with the sales, speak with the marketing, but this is what it is. So so this was a product management tool. Okay, let's deep dive into what does Scrum says. Okay. So this is the first line of a Scrum. Okay, the Scrum guide starts with this line. Okay, Scrum is a lightweight framework that helps people, teams, organizations generate value through adaptive solution, complex problems. Okay, so there is text highlighted as generate value, adaptive solutions, and complex problems. Okay, so when we say generate value, what do you think? Generate value for whom? Is it for a customer? Is it for a business? What do you think? Any guesses? I'm not able to see the chats, but I'm just trying. Okay. Yes. Any guesses, guys? Is it for a customer? Okay, customer. Okay. Thank you. I got an answer. Customer. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So there is a business and there is a customer. Okay. So customer can be a user, right? As in he can use a product or he cannot use a product. So there's a business and there is a customer. So customer has problems, needs, goals, right? He has certain, we understood, right? Jobs to be done, the problems, right? So what does business does is business creates products or services for the customers. Okay, they understand, they have a deep user empathy. Okay, I'm just trying to relate to the first slide. So I'm going to go back to the first slide every time. Okay, they have a deep user empathy. They do a user research. They try to understand these are the problems we need to fix. Customer uses a product not once, repeatedly. Okay, that is a critical point. Repeatedly, and gives back and gives business back maybe a money or maybe attention. He says that attention hai ya fir money, right? From both the angles. Okay, from that. Okay. So you understand the relationship with business and the customer. So what business gives to customer is called as customer value, and what customer gives to the business is called as business value. And when we say generate a value, is generating value for both customer as well as a business. Okay. So there is no business, I mean, there is no organization, probably I don't remember on top of my mind, right, which only generates customer value and not generate business value. So businesses will go out of a market. Okay, guys, this is the entire agility is all about. So when we say generate value, it needs to be for both business as well as customer. So we have understood what is generating value. Let's understand, okay, how do we define value? Okay, let's define. So there are certain questions, right? I mean, I don't know how to define. Let's try to ask some questions. Okay, how do we identify customers and users? How do we identify problems? Okay, or which are the problems to be solved? Which solutions to implement? How do we build the right thing? I don't know. How do we measure success? I don't know. That can be ample of umpteen number of questions. I don't know. You need to ask all these questions, okay, to define the value. But the challenge is you will not find any of these answers within a Scrum framework. So you'll have to look outside the Scrum framework. And I'll leave this slide with one more messaging. Okay, so there is a line called in Scrum guide. Scrum is purposefully left incomplete, and I'll leave you that message. Okay, that is okay. So with this, let's try to understand one more thing. Okay, so there's a rise of a product owner role or maybe a fall. I'll leave up to you to decide, but this is what it is. Okay, so most product owners are not there yet. Okay, are not empowered to take decisions, or not team backlog managers. Okay, see, I've been myself a product owner from last 6 months. Okay, and I relate this to me. It's not that. Okay, I relate this to me. Okay, so let's try to understand what are the models generally there. PM and PO are the different roles within an organization. Okay, two different job titles. Okay, there's an integration. One is focused on a strategic part and one is on a tactical part. And there is one which is either PM or either PO. So there is one person handling both of the roles, right? So beware of this option. Okay, it's very tricky. Two different people, two different roles. This is tricky. Can work, may not work. Okay, 50% it does work for me, but 50% it has failed also. This works amazingly. Okay, again, I'm not talking about business impact, but one person handling the end-to-end responsibility. So these are the three standard models which you will find. Okay, Of course, trickiest might work in your case. I'm not telling which is a good or bad, but stay away from the first model. Definitely, there is a big red signal. There's a lot of handoffs. Okay, going to happen in that room. Okay. So with this, let's define what is a product manager really supposed to do. Now, this looks a scary chart, guys, but that says this is a role of a responsibility of a product manager. Now, why are we trying to study roles and responsibility of product manager? Because we want to dwell into the product space. See, we want to understand what is this chap is actually doing? What is his responsibility of that? And most of the time I say, right, we are stuck into the hamstering wheel, so we don't know what is actually doing. So starts with the research, strategy, product roadmap. Okay, execution is, you might see familiar terms, right? Collaborating with the engineer, designer, and everything. Scrum, Kanban, prioritization, team topology. How do we structure the product teams? Okay, it should come from a leadership. The goals and OKRs, objectives should come from a leadership. And then go to market strategy, okay. And then product analytics, where he actually works with analytics team, try to understand the data. And growth. Growth is nothing but growing a product, right? Does he want to increase the number of users or number of revenue? How does it do that, right? Generally from that angle, or engagement. So this is from a growth perspective. So ideally, you should manage the entire life cycle of a product. This is what. And why he's doing that? Because he also needs to give value to the business. Now, when you see this, you will feel, okay, this is too much for one person. It's very difficult. Okay, I would have agreed this with you maybe 6 or 1 year back, but there's slight disagreement on this. This is tough, but then the point is, right, this is actually one person is there, right? But he is actually not, that doesn't mean he will do by one person. It's not a one-man army, he will do everything, right? See, most product organization, you can take any organization within India, right? They have a single person managing a product manager role over entire product lead, right? So during a problem discovery, he's a individual contribution. Okay, he's an individual contribution. But during solution, right, he will definitely liaise with engineering. He will involve engineering, design team, everyone. Okay, for solution discovery. Product vision, he will work with leadership to prepare the strategies and all that, right? And during last part, he will also work with analytics and marketing team. So this is not one person. You have given him a project and you have dumped everything on. He has to work across. It is more of a collaboration and communicating role also, right? This is what it is. And then actually it also depends upon organization type, right? Stage of a product, right? If you're part of a smaller organization, you will play a bigger role. You'll have to do everything. If you're a bigger organization, right, which maybe probably the one which I'm currently working on. So there might be a segregation of duties. It might be a role of, or there might be some product which is already in production support. So it might be more aligned to execution. Okay, with this, guys, this is a classic quote, right? So even if you take Scrum away, right, from organization, product management is still going to exist. It's not going to go away. So without any framework, product management has to be basic capability within an organization if they want to deliver products. Okay. With this, guys, now, since you have understood, right, what product manager is supposed to do to make product success and grow business, let's try to ask one question, right? So let's ask, can an agile coach on product management skills? I'll ask you to hold for maybe 5 minutes. Okay, just hold on for this answer. Okay, and let's try to do this. Okay, so let's go to the harsh realities first. Okay, I think everyone knows, probably everyone is aware of Marty Kagan, right? But then this is what he writes. Okay, so these are the best coaches, product coaches across the world. Okay? Product leaders across the world. Okay, so if whoever is coaching the product team doesn't have actual hands-on experience with a product, it is difficult for them. Okay, advice to agile coaches to change their focus from a process to product discovery. Petra Willie talks, amazing product coach. She's a strong product leader book. You should definitely read it. Okay, read out that's what she says. Agile coaches, by the nature of their work development team, are more aligned to delivery. Remember the hamster wheel. Okay, so this is a classic PM wheel, product management wheel, which Petra specified in her book. Right, this consists of 8 quadrants, where we are currently. Right, if you see, we are into agile and we are into agile team. Couple of them, but we are not everywhere. We are not at the problem stage and the solution discovery phase. We are not at a discovery phase. We're still struggling at a delivery phase without measuring the impact. Okay. Now, these are hard lessons which I have learned from past, say, 3 years. Okay, struggle. How do we make an impact on product side, right? So the first thing, right, you'll find a lot of different lenses. Agile people seeing product as a different lens, product seeing different. But I personally feel like these are not 2 different lenses. Okay. So let's stop seeing agile and product as 2 different lenses. Okay. So the foundation of agile is a team, and the foundation of product is users, okay? And you as an agile coach or scrum master need to bring this together, the team as well as the user. You need to bridge the friction between them, bring them together, okay? You need to have a deep user empathy towards a product manager. See guys, you as an agile coach and a scrum master, right? You need to have a deep user empathy. You need to understand what he's supposed to do. Most of the time, since we are stuck into that wheel, okay, we assume, okay, this is the role of the person. But the role of a product manager or product management skill is more than that. If you want to explore the product space, right, we'll have to widen our umbrella on that part, okay? And we've been always focused on the teams, right? Teams or teams, right? Or product managers or product owners, right? It has to be users also. We'll have to think shift left, okay, from that angle, okay? Soft skills, very critical. Hard skills, creating roadmap, creating vision. I think this can be learned from a lot of frameworks and templates, right? But soft skills are one of the most critical. If you're not able to do soft skills, I think it's very difficult to explore the product space, okay? And I won't read it, right? These are the standard soft skills which you need, okay? I think fall in love with the problem, not solution. This is historically, culturally, we always, when you ask, right, a basic question, what is an improvement in Zomato? What is, you generally come with feature, or hey, this button is not working, this button, we generally, but we don't think from a user's point of view. That is a classic, right? Okay. And find a people problem behind the product, okay? Not a product problem first, okay? I may say that, okay, so there is a problem in Zomato that I'm not able to place a bulk order. Multiple orders at the same time. But the people problem is I'm getting frustrated. I'm not able, I have friends across India and I want to place an order or four. I mean, I have a guest at my house and I want to order at the same time from food from a different restaurant. Why are you forcing me to choose only from one restaurant? So this is a people problem. I'm frustrated. I'm agonized from this. Okay, you might fix it, but this is what you'll have to understand the people problem behind this. Okay, and then outcome leading to output leading to outcome. Okay, output are not bad. It has to lead to outcome. That is only the point. Okay, it's not never that. And frameworks, both in agile and frameworks, are not silver bullets. Okay, let's be honest. And then last but not least, okay, let's not fall into trap of product coaches title. Okay, let's look at the bigger responsibility. So these are my learning lessons, guys. I'll quickly move. Okay, but okay, before that, the star ones are the most toughest, which I felt toughest. Okay, you still need to improve because it's complete change in a 360-degree view as an agile coach or a scrum master. Okay, falling in love with the problem is very difficult when you are actually trained to solve solutions, trained to solve problem solving mode. It is no longer problem solving mode. It is no longer a solution first. It is a problem first mode. And even with problem, it is a user first mode. That is what you need to think. So it is completely, somebody has shifted from a team to think from a users, and you have to go back and think complete left shift from that. Okay, with this, guys, I'll take next 5 minutes. Okay. So as an agile coach, as a scrum master, how would I start exploring the product space? So generally, this is what I did. I started reading product books. I read a lot of product books. Okay. Some did help me. Some did demotivated me because I thought the reality is different. Okay. And then some also motivated me. So it's very difficult, right? There are different viewpoints and people are going together. There are different frameworks. It's very easy to get lost in information. Okay. And of course, if you pick up one mentor and then again, right? The challenging part is product discovery, right? Especially the discovery part is not a one size all fits. Okay, never does. It's never safe. It's never. So it's very difficult, right? You can read it. You can read as much as, but it's very difficult to collate this information. Okay. So the best part is you read, you understand, and you try. How do you try? Is you do product tear downs. Break the product. I'll show you. Okay, so this is one method which we are going to touch in the next 5 minutes. Okay, and the third and the last, and I think one of the most impactful, okay, is build products. Now, okay, the question is, okay, when I say build product, it's more of a digital products, okay, not physical products. Okay, you need to build products. You need to be a CEO of your own product. I need to identify a problem in a society, do a user research, all the steps, identify problems, identify solutions, prioritize solutions, and then you move to the delivery phase. Okay, this is what you need to do. Can a one person do it? I don't have an answer. Okay, I definitely don't have. But again, can a one person do it? It is possible. Okay, we are seeing solopreneurs. People have created products. A lot of no code, low code. I'm not commenting on the quality. I'm not giving you solutions, but it is a possibility. It is the but this is what actually getting it. And all these three things. Okay, let's try to bring another question. Okay, we'll flip the question this time. Okay, and once again asking, do you need to be a product manager to do all this? And the answer is no. You don't have to be a product manager. You can do very well sitting here. You can do very well without any designation. So I want to leave this message. Okay. So if you want to do product coaching, you need to think and do a work like a product manager. And of course, product leaders from that angle. Okay. You might be doing some leadership role from OKRs and all that. Okay. I don't want to touch on that, but you need to see the entire product life cycle from the inception to the problem till the time you deliver and you measure the impact. See, measuring the impact is very critical, as I told, right? Hamstering wheel. If you don't measure impact, you will not understand whether it is a failed impact or it is past impact, and then iterate the solution. So this is the best. So if you want to explore product coaching, you have to think and play like a product manager in some cases. Okay. And these are the standard steps. See, there might be more. I'm not denying that, but this is what I could think of. There might be more, and then of course there definitely will be more. But this, see, you understand this. These slides are more structured from a coaching, agile coaching point of view, more from somebody who's came from a background with a Scrum Master and a coaching. This is more from that. Been into coaching from last 8 years, but this is more from that angle. Okay. And so let's look at, okay. So as I said, right, let's do a product tear downs. Let's do it. Okay. I don't know if there are any questions or anything. Depends. Total, not any special. Okay. I'll try to answer in case, okay, if there are questions, but just give me a few minutes and then we'll reserve maybe 5-10 minutes for question and answers towards the end. Okay. So just maybe a second. Okay, so we'll try to do a product tear down. Okay, guys, with next. Again, the steps might vary. Okay, completely. This is one of the steps which I have actually pulled. Okay, so there is Ankit Shukla who's leading the Halopian entirety, which is Gurgaon based, the arranger product coaching and lot. So this is a framework which I pulled up from LinkedIn. Okay, it's a quite magnificent framework. Okay, so product selection, sign up. I'll try to reiterate all these steps again, okay, to you. But then I'll definitely hand it over Satish and Sharat. Whatever the materials I've tried to gather, right, the references, I'll try to create something. I'll try to send you so that you don't waste a lot of time going across everywhere, right? You have every material towards it. Okay. So let's try to do this. So these are the simple steps, guys, and anyone can do it. Okay. So the first step is you need to pick your product, any favorite product which you are using day to day. It can be financial product, maybe a Grow, it can be Zerodha, it can be Zomato, it can be Swiggy, or it can be Make My Trip, it can be Book My Show, anything. I would suggest pick up a B2C. That's going to be a bit easier. Let's not pick it up B2B. Let's pick up B2C. Okay. You identify how business is making money. The first thing you should do is think. We are taking you left shift, completely left shift. No user stories. We're trying to understand the business. Okay. How any idea, guys? Any idea how does Zomato makes money? Anyone wants to take a shot? Again, no prizes for the right answers, but still. Anyone? What are the different ways Zomato can make money? Zomato, Swiggy. What do you think?
From the customer orders plus the commission from restaurants.
Yes, commission for restaurant, correct. Customer orders, commission for restaurant. There's also Zomato Gold, right? There are some memberships. Zomato Gold membership, Swiggy K membership. So these are some. So this is how Zomato makes money. So the first basic thing is that, okay, you go into when you select a product, you first try to understand their business model. Okay, these are the people. Okay, this is how they make money. See, ultimately everything ties back to money. Okay. I don't want to build a product which is not giving me money and just it is a what do you say? There's one. I mean, there are a lot of features getting released, right? But it is not getting used and it is not giving me money. Okay. So remember, guys, remember the first slide. Okay, customer value and the business value. If you get customer value, if you don't give this business value, it is of no use of each other. It has to give both. It has to give both. Okay. So understand how business make money. Okay. Okay. And then you pull up one of the business goal. So do you want to engage more users? Do you want to create engagement, or do you want to retain the users, right? So Zomato, see the order is right. You have to retain. You just when I'm taking a specific example of Zomato and Swiggy because those are quite relatable. Okay, there might be B2B, but then what Zomato does is right, it keeps on pushing you, sending push notification. I'm pretty sure, right? If anybody has a Zomato app installed today, they might have got a push notification. Okay, there's a cricket match, there is this discount. India started batting, Pakistan has lost this wicket. So Zomato keeps on sending those push notifications. And this is what they are retentions. Okay, these are retaining. They want you to place an order. Okay, and revenue. They want to increase it. So you select any one of the business goals. You pick up your product, understand the business, how it makes money, and then you pick up any business. Understand, okay, I want to improve engagement or I want to improve retention. You do this. Then you start with the problem space. Okay. So the first thing you should do is identify users, different users for a product. As I think Satish said, right? For Zomato, there might be 3 users. One is actually customer who's placing order, one is a restaurant and delivery partner. Let's check a customer, okay? Customer may I'll choose from a demographic and problem, I'll maybe choose a student who has certain specific problems, okay? But there's a take, okay? I'll have to go and interview at least three students or three users, okay? And try to understand their problem. So this is where actually it is a different ball games from agility, okay? Different ball game. Interviewing this users directly, okay? And when I say interviewing, right, okay, I'll just try to identify the jobs to be done. And this is where you remember in the start of this session, I told there is one book I'm going to recommend you, okay? This is The Mom's Test. It is hardly a 120 pages book. It's a classic book. Even if you don't try to explore product coaching or anything, I mean, from try to understand the internet, you should definitely read this. The book talks about how even your mom cannot lie to you on your questions. And this is what exactly, keep away your biases. You're talking about users life. You're not talking about feature. We generally go, do you want this digital payment? Customer will say, yes. Imagine you're going and talking to a farmer, okay, and you giving him, okay, digital payment option. The problem the farmer has, he doesn't have an internet connection. What is without that feature? That is what exactly. So the best thing the farmer requires is cash on delivery. It's the best option for him. So that is what it is, right? So this is what actually this book talks about. Okay, going into users' life and not our life. Okay, and then you identify problems, you identify the jobs to be done, and then you identify the problems you're facing and not getting the jobs to be done successfully. Okay, so that is what it is all about. Okay, and then you prioritize this problem. Same, you are going to the same slides. Okay, prioritization of problems can be done in 2 ways. Okay, you have conducted 3 interviews, you have a list of problems. Now you go and rotate the survey to them. Okay, now let's suppose you rotate to 100 odd people and only 50 odd people have responded. So you will come to know out of that 50 odd people, okay, maybe 35 people have selected only these 3 problems. So these are prioritization. Another way is identify the business goal. So our business goal is assuming engagement or revenue. So that will filter it out. That will further filter it out. Again, there might be different ways you can filter out more, but these are 2 common ways which I could think of. Okay, and then perform competitor analysis. Okay, now this is another take, right? The obvious competition for Zomato is Swiggy or any other. Okay, so this is a direct competition. Okay, can you think of any indirect competition, guys, for Zomato or Swiggy? What do you think? Can there be an indirect competition for Zomato or Swiggy? Anyone? Anyone wants to just add? Can our home kitchen can also be competition, right, for this food delivery apps? If I decided to cook the food at home, I don't have to order. So even this, so think on from a competition from both sides, okay, direct and indirect. And the last, okay, 1 second. The last but not least is prioritize this problem. Okay, so I mean, I was thinking actually to bring you the actual case study, but then it's going to be a bit heavier. I just thought actually I'll explain you the framework, and then of course we can connect offline. I can definitely send you a lot of case studies, okay, or you can definitely found on different platforms all this. But this is the structure, right, guys? The structure might be interchangeable. I'm not saying that these are steps you need to follow, but these are steps you can keep your creativity up in exploring the product space. And especially that is what I'm trying to tell you. After reading books or whatever it is, right? If you are curious, you should definitely do the product down. So you should maybe recommend it, okay? And then solution space, you identify multiple solutions. Remember, multiple solution, market differentiator, or more of a catch-up game. And why multiple solution is that to keep your biases and also control. And then you prioritize the solution. Now, I'm recommending you impact, confidence, and easiness. There's an IC framework plus WSJF. Okay. Now, why I've written plus? You can combine these two. Okay, so this is what we have done in our organization. Okay, we have created. See, the point is, right, I'm not recommending you any framework. I'm not promoting you any framework. Okay, so the point of writing this is that understand the business, your organization business, your product business, in current organization. Understand the problem, understand where business is coming from, and you create your own customized framework. You can combine, you can plug and play multiple framework. That is what I think is missing right now. Generally, we go with Moscow, or generally we go with all this. We depend, okay, you tell us a priority. That is not the case. We'll have to push priority. If someone is not giving a priority, we'll have to push a priority. This is what you have to combine, plug and play this framework. So again, guys, I don't want to go into in depth because these are very framework. Creating a customized framework itself is a big topic itself, right? And then lastly, but not least, can create wireframes using Figma, okay, and test with couple of uses. Use journey. It might take 1 month, it might take 2 months, but then it's worth a shot if you really are interested in exploring the product space. Okay, but then it will definitely push you up to the limit in any of your current role. I just wanted to have more empathy towards product managers, okay, and product owners who are actually, which is a quite complicated role in industry. Okay, most of the people doesn't understand, but if we really go in depth and try to have an empathy and try to understand their role, what are their responsibility, then only we'll come to know, okay, this is a bigger fish to fry. Okay, this is what I need to do to prepare myself. Okay, so with this, guys, product discovery is not one size fits all. It's a linear path. I think I am on time, but then with this, guys, thank you very much. If you like to speak, explore more, argue, I would love to do that. You can catch me on Twitter or LinkedIn. With this, I think you can open any floor for questions. Okay.
Yeah, Satyajeet, thanks again for a great session. You are not only on time, but you are banged with, a lot of interactions, where people were talking about their thought process, right? So there also you are on target. So let's invite questions from people. Any questions, anyone that comes to your mind? Before that, Satish, do we have any offline questions from YouTube or from the LinkedIn?
No offline question, but participants are having questions. Let me unmute them. Subhash, you have a question? You want to ask Satyajeet?
Yeah, hi. I think it's fine. Part of it has been answered, but because in one of the slides, initially it was shown that it was mentioned as a problem space and a solution space. I think I was trying to understand how does design thinking fit in there, because obviously that's something which is very important, because you have to look at the unfulfilled requirements, right? Not just requirements, but unfulfilled requirements.
Right. Okay. I'll try to maybe give my perspective to this answer. Okay. You can, I don't want to see design thinking is framework, definitely. I've been using that as well, but you can think this as a simplified version of a design thinking, what we just plotted more horizontally. Okay. You can say again, design thinking, you diverge, you converge, you diverge, you converge, right? On problem space as well as a solution space. Okay, on that. Only one correct I wanted to, it's never unfulfilled requirements. When you say requirements, it's always freeze. It's unfulfilled needs. So it's always from that angle. Okay, the needs, pain points, and all that. Okay, so just a short answer. I just wanted to give it to you. But you can think as this isn't just a simplification of a design thinking more. I've just tried to include bit more from maybe try to, okay, identifying personas, identifying jobs to be done, and then you identify the problems for which actually jobs to be done are not able to be successful. Okay, from that angle. I mean, I hope I was able to touch that point. Subhash, you're looking at. Okay.
Okay, Satyajeet, I have a question from my side. Usually,
Yes.
when we say agile coach, right, people see more of us from the agile practices perspective or like a technical coach, right?
Yes.
Very rarely we will be allowed to enter into the product space because there are already defined product owners, product managers, right? So how you see this perspective, and at some level there will be resistance also, like you have defined product coaches at product. How you chase that, and how you entered into the product space and made that difference?
See, that's a very good question, and I think this is, Sharad, this is a problem across industry. Okay, this is not generally, it's across all the organization, right? Where we, as a coaches, or even we are only restricted to the implementation part. Okay, we have never forced to ask, okay, why should we implement? But the first basic thing, right? The first basic thing to change a culture is that, okay, which probably worked in some cases, mine, but didn't work. You at least identify if you've deployed certain feature, right? Is a customer really using it? Only the basic question. You can talk to the product manager. Product manager doesn't have the data, someone else will have, right? Is a customer really using it? That is a basic question, right? And then see, most of this, right? That is what I say, right? The three roles. There are different roles, or either these are combined strategy and this, and there is no. It is like separating hands from brain. कोई बंदा एक और कर रहा है, and then somebody else is doing something. So as a coach, it's difficult to push. I know that. I know as a coach, it's difficult to push the culture. But then even before pushing the culture, right, I should be aware where should I apply a push. That is what it is. See, because most of what happens, right, in coaching engagement, we don't know what happens before product backlog, and we don't know what happens after releasing a feature. So this is where you generally need to push, right? And I think I have seen, right, guys, couple of agile coaches moving into product roles or product managers role. I've seen, I have a couple of examples. So it is just that, again, I'm telling you, right, there was one caveat. It depends upon organization culture, how big and small it is. But then if we as an agile coach, right, generally the objective of this call was that if we stick only to the process, people will limit us only to the process. We either have to move to the technology side, or either we have to move to the product side. Either try to understand the entire gamut. Okay, otherwise we'll stuck into that hamster wheel. Okay, that is what my whole point of this session was.
Right. I think we need to start talking more in the product language.
Yes.
Try to outsmart them in some area where our ideology also help them understand that we are trying to make a difference from the product perspective, right? That's how I believe people will start with us.
Exactly.
From the leadership perspective also, and that will give us more voice to start creating difference.
True. See, and then Sharath, I'll just say it, right? See, this is our jobs to be done. This is our unmet needs. We have to meet it. There's a market over this, and we have to capture that. That is how I look at it, right? Right.
All right. Any other questions from anyone? One last question.
I think we need to include product management as part of Agile CE. Okay. Subhash, that is interesting. Okay. But generally that doesn't happen. Okay. What happens, right? Agile is plugged as part of a product management in product companies. If you look at Zerodha, if you look at Razorpay, if you look at Misho, what generally happens, there is a product arm. See, there is one roles and responsibility called as structuring the product team topology, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you must have aware of team topology, right? You structure your pod according to the problem statement. I want to increase the revenue. So this is a goal of that pod. And there are product managers, there are sales manager, and there are Agile is plugged into that. The engineers. These guys will be never part of Agile. If this guy will be part of Agile, it's going to be delivery arm. So we'll have to remove that Agile part and plug into the product arm, or probably so. So I was just trying to change. So it's completely changed in a pyramid. We'll have to do it ulta. Otherwise, it's going to be problematic for all. But then I think, as Sharath said, right, we as a coaches and Scrum Master, we'll have to start thinking from a business impact on a product language. You'll start doing that. And this is where people will feel a value of this, I mean, from that angle, okay. Management, this is not happening since Agile is not reporting, where Agile reporting, I'll tell you, it's quite a complicated topic. It's quite a structural, I think it's quite, yes. But then generally, right, in product organization, there are CPOs, Chief Product Officers. And there is also a role called as Chief Product Officer and CPTO kind of a stuff, right? So this is what, and so in general, right, from that angle. But then,
All right.
problems align pods, and then you do that. Yes. Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I think Satyajit, we are
Yes,
little
I
bit
think
over
we
time.
are. Yes.
Yeah.
I think thank you guys.
So-
Thanks Satish. Thanks Sharad. I
Yeah.
think it's a marvelous
Thanks for the great
opportunity.
session.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Right. Let's give a token of appreciation from our side. I'm showcasing my screen. Hope you all can see it. A little bit of appreciation to Satyajit for his
Yes.
contribution.
Yes. Thanks Sharad. Thanks Satish. You guys are doing a marvelous job. Thank you all. Great efforts. Okay.
Thanks, Satyajit.
Thank you.
Satish, I think it's your turn to again stop my sharing. I don't know. I'm poor at Zoom. And please go ahead and answer. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thanks, Satyajeet. So, yes, coming up next, let's take a short break, 15 minutes. We thought of 30 minutes, but again, due to the time, we went a little bit ahead. And so let's take a quick break. We can have a working dinner, if in case it is comfortable for all of you. Then we have Nilanshi covering about customer obsession canvas, followed by our closing notes. So we'll wrap up by 10 o'clock so that you can have a weekend. Tomorrow we can spend with your family. Let's be back by 9 p.m. IST. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.